I got my buddy Luca here, and in this video we're going to talk about kennel training to a down. Now, this is a more advanced exercise. If you're taking our class and you did not do kennel training to a sit, let us know. We can share a video or teach you the technique. In this one, we're going to ask the dog to lay down before we let it out of the kennel. Now, a quick little tip in case you didn't take our first class. Any dog will get cortisol, which is the stress hormone, if they're left in the kennel for longer than 4 hours. Overnight is a little bit different, but you never want to put your puppy in for longer than 4 hours, which is why we like using a long-term confinement area. Now, in order to do this exercise, you need some really high-value training treats, something that's got a really strong aroma, preferably a meat-based treat, but something your dog likes. Now, in the first video, we talked about going into the kennel, so by this stage, if your puppy has any reluctance to go in the kennel, you are not ready for this step, go back, watch the other video, or ask us if I went to it and we'll send it to you. You need to keep practicing that one until the dog is comfortable going into the kennel. So what I'm going to do is put my buddy Luca down here. He's going to run to his mom because she's the one filming. Luca! Puppy, puppy, puppy! Luca! Luca! Come here, buddy. Oh, look at that good bounce. So I'm going to toss the treat in, and what's this word for the kennel?
Chambers.
Chambers, because your guardian is a law student. So we're going to let it go in and come out. We want to make sure that he goes all 4 paws inside and that there's no hesitation. Now he's already sitting, which is wonderful. Normally, I'm going to call you out one more time, and so I can show you the blocking. So what we're going to do is throw it in. Chambers. Now I walk up here and I'm blocking him. Now he sits down. When he sits, I take 1 step backwards. That causes most dogs to come forward like that, so I immediately rush back forward as my way of saying no. I wait for the dog to be stationary, take a step backwards, and pause. When you communicate with dogs through body language, you want to pause between each step. That's the way of almost putting like a period. Now if he stays in place while he is, I'm going to take another step backwards. Normally, I would only step backwards when the dog is looking. Now, I'm not telling him to SIT, and I'm not telling him to LAY. I'm spelling those out because if a dog does it on command, it does not signify anything. When he SITs in there, that's telling me that his mom did a great job with the kennel because he's comfortable with it. So as soon as he sits down, I take a step backwards. And at this point, I'm just waiting for him to LAY. Now, as soon as he does, I'm going to give him his release word, which is COME. So you can have a unique word that means to be released from the kennel, or you can just use your regular recall word, COME or HERE. I'm spelling them out because I don't want him to come out. Now, when you're doing this exercise, it is crucial that you stay here and complete the exercise properly. If the puppy squirts out, it's going to make it harder for you to do it. If the puppy doesn't LAY, there we go. So I say no by moving forward. He sat down, so I take a step backwards. It's going to feel like a waltz. You're going to go back and forth. The record for this is an adult dog. I have an adult dog that took 1 hour and 15 minutes before it LAY'd down. But after that, the next time it was like 20 minutes. After that, it was like 7 minutes and like 2 minutes. Now that dog loves its kennel, but it's patience. Now he's a little distracted because, like I said, he's looking at the camera because that's where his guardian is the one filming and holding it. So, Luca, I just want to distract him away from looking at her. Now, we're going to try to achieve this in the video so you can actually see it, but if it goes long, we might shorten this because I don't want you to watch 10 minutes of the video of me just standing here talking. But the instant the dog LAYs, its chest hits the ground, you're going to take a giant step backwards, have a treat with you ready to go. So I didn't have one, so I'm going to reach in. I've got the treat pouch. If you don't have one of these are hugely effective. So if you don't have one, let us know. We can hook you up with one. Now, we're just waiting for him to LAY. When I bring one of my dogs to class, California, people are always impressed because I put her in a kennel in the back of the class and I tell her to stay, and the door is wide open the whole class. And she stays in there, puppies are running around. She will not come out until she hears her release word. And that's a great control. It took me a lot of time to get to that point. Now, for the kennel, I look at the kennel. I want to use the kennel if I need to keep my house safe or keep my puppy safe. If your dog does not destroy things and it's not having accidents or whatever, transition it out of the kennel if you can. I can't remember how she says this. It'd be actually better for her to say it because she's closer to the camera. But Taylor likes to say,
you can spend the time confining them now and give them freedom for the rest of their life, or you can give them freedom now and confine them for the rest of their life.
And I have a lot of adult dogs that have to be kenneled when they're 5, 6, or 7 years old because they destroy the couch or whatever it is. And so you want your dog to be free. It can be a home security system and help you out. So since the Luca dog isn't actually LAY, I'm going to summarize this and we'll do it without achieving the end result. But when you do this, don't do what I'm about to do. You need to last your dog. The first time it might be, it's not going to be an hour. It might be 10, 15 minutes. But the second time will be faster and it'll be faster. What you're saying is if you step back immediately as soon as your dog LAYs, LAYing is what gets you out of the kennel. Then the dog is going to start LAYing right away, faster and faster. When you get to that point, then you can start stepping away and wait for the dog after it LAYs plus 3 seconds before I invite you out. Then plus 5 seconds, then 10 seconds. And if I go from 10 to 30 and at 28 seconds he gets up and comes out, I push too far too fast. Now I back up and go maybe from, instead of going to 20, I might go to 15. Now, he's actually giving me a good little reminder. So if he's sticking his head out, well, that I can allow. It's a personal preference. Now, typically when they're up here in the front of the kennel, as you can see now, that means he's anxious, he wants to get out. When they're very relaxed, they often will hang out in the back of the kennel, and they'll kind of do this circular walk, and then they'll lay down. Sometimes they stretch and then lay themselves down. So if your puppy does stick its head out, then again, rush forward. And rushing forward is, the suddenness is what will move him back. So don't do it very lackadaisical like this. As you see, he didn't really move. I want to be able to see how in that one he jumped back a little bit. All right, well, so this isn't 10 minutes of me just standing here. We're going to go ahead and end this video now. But make sure when you do this, practice this until your dog goes in the kennel and lays down on its own. And actually, a couple little bonus tips. Leaving a treat in here with the door wired open is a great way to create a positive reinforcer. If every time you go to a restaurant, you find a $100 bill in the lobby, you're probably going to go to that restaurant a lot to eat. Same thing works here. So if every time your puppy goes in the kennel, I find a treat or a bully stick or a new toy, well, this is the place to be. So anytime you introduce a new toy or something like that, this is where your puppy should find it. And don't point it out, just leave it in there, walk away. One last little tip, a lot of people put blankets and towels in there. If you're tossing the treats in or have a toy, they won't be able to see it right away. So I'd strongly recommend that you get one of these dog beds that is sized appropriately for the kennel. And if you haven't got a kennel yet, I would suggest that you get a wire kennel instead of a plastic kennel. All right, well, Luca, you did such a good job. We're going to invite you out with an LAY. Come. Come. These are tips and tricks you can use if you need to help your dog learn to practice being calm and enjoy being inside the kennel.